if you're watching this video, have you ever had a bad moment in life, a rough patch in life, and you chose a video game to help you get through it? I guess I should dive into why I asked that question. Hi, my name is Dallas from NoggTV. I'm playing some SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I'll get into why I'm playing this game specifically. But yeah, my question. I'll go ahead and start by answering. A tough moment in life, a bad stretch. I think we've all had moments like that. I think we've all had times where, you know, there's an option in life to turn to negative things and bad coping mechanisms. And then there's a time where you can, you know, choose something positive and good. And if you're anything like me, hopefully if you're watching this video and you relate, hopefully you chose video games. That's what I did, and this week has been kind of rough for me, and I'll talk about it. Also, peep the SpongeBob and Squidward friends. That's such a cute little frame. I love this. Gosh, I love this game so much. It's just so freaking good. But yeah, great game. Oh gosh, a lot of text, a lot of tutorials. I'm just gonna skip them. But I've been thinking about it because my week has been really rough this week, and I've been doing a lot of reflecting, deep thinking, and it's made me think about how I play video games. You know, a couple weeks ago, or really it was like probably like 2 months ago, I made a video about, and I'll put it up on screen, about YouTube and my thoughts on it, and some of the, like, exposing some of the lies. Not like, you know, I'm not trying to make it all super secretive. It was just me talking about what I feel like YouTube does right and what they don't, and, you know, how you can get some misconceptions when you watch like just the popular stuff on YouTube, or you listen to a very select crowd on YouTube. And it did, you know, it did like blow up in views, but I got a lot of comments and people just relating and some good stuff and talking about how it really helped them. And you know, even if like 5 people watch this video, that's, for me, that makes it all worth it. And I've been wanting to add more to my channel and more content, and I really just something I've been thinking on for a while. I'm really big into mental health and very big into, like, just video game, what's the word? Being an advocate for video games, because I feel like in society we're kind of coming around to video games where it's not as taboo anymore. Like, it's more common and widespread. You know, we have people that play video games as a career, people that do YouTube as a career, you know, but that being said, I still don't think that people take it seriously enough as not just something for fun, but something to alleviate stress and, you know, something to do, and as opposed to other things that could be worse. Like, I'll just go ahead and start off by saying, if you don't know this, please understand, it's okay to not be okay. You know, I would say I'm not okay most of the time. You know, whether you're struggling, whether it's just seasonal, it's just a bad day, bad week, maybe just tough, busy season with work, you know, a bad, tough relationship, you know, sickness in a family or a loss of a loved one. You know, it's all over the place. There's a lot of things, you know, whether it's a mental illness or a depression, or, you know, something that you're going through, anxiety that you really can't help, something that's kind of more serious and been brought on by, you know, other outside things. I by no means am an expert. I'm not. When I titled this video, you know, how video games can help you cope, I was not doing it from I'm an expert on the subject, I know all this research. It's more so this is personally how I feel. These are my own personal experiences. I was talking with a good buddy of mine that's, you know, helped me out a lot with my channel and, you know, given me lots of good ideas over the years. And I told him, like, I wanted to add more to the channel, more value, since I'd been cutting down on my videos and not posting as often. But I wanted something that, you know, made it worthwhile, like was worth watching, that wasn't just a filler. And I really liked that video I did a month or so back, and I wanted to do more, but I wanted to make it meaningful and like I said, for it to be some kind of sustenance and something you can sit on and think about. And there's lots of things that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to probably be doing a weekly, like every Monday. You know, I'll have something going on. But I wanted to start with talking about, you know, how video games can help you cope, how they can help your mental health. And I want to talk about how video games can help you get through rough patches in life, because I don't feel like that's talked about enough. You know, you can choose things like, sure, like drift away in music, or read a good book, or write and journal, and those are all really good healthy options. And then sometimes there's not healthy options, like, you know, drinking like alcohol or drugs or self-harm, you know, just taking out frustration on others. And it's a tough thing to talk about. I really don't even feel qualified, but I feel like we should see more YouTubers and more people in general, especially, and I'm not saying this to be sexist, but like I think we can agree that definitely for men's mental health, like that is even more frowned upon, because there's this stigma that we are supposed to be strong and not talk about our feelings and not, you know, show when we're upset. You know, you're not allowed to get sad. You can get mad, but you can't be sad, because, you know, you're told, especially, you know, if you're a guy, you're a little kid from the South, and, you know, you got, you know, raised tough and gritty, and, you know, crying, you're told crying's for girls. Now, I don't believe that. I think I'm not saying you should be a cry baby, but, you know, like when you really need to, like, there's nothing wrong with getting it out. You know, don't cry all the time, you know, unless you just really have to. I guess if that makes you feel better. You know, crying over spilled milk is not important, but like over legitimately serious things is, you know, reasonable. And I know for me personally, like I said, I was going to talk about why I picked this game. This has been one of the games I played from so early on back in my life, and it's been there for me. I grew up a big SpongeBob fan. Like, SpongeBob's my favorite show. I'm an adult. I'm 23 years old, and I still, probably until the end of time, SpongeBob will be my favorite episode, or favorite TV show. I don't feel like you have to have an adult answer if you're an adult. Just choose whatever freaking show you like the most, whatever makes you laugh, to smile. Like, I can pick almost any episode of SpongeBob. I can quote it. I can talk about it. I can break it down and analyze it. I can tell you all the memes from that episode. It just makes me laugh. It makes me kind of forget things that I'm upset about or stressed. It's like my comfort show. And same way with the video game. When I was younger, like, and this is also something I want to talk about because I feel like it's serious and I want to get it off my chest, is my disability. I'm not going to touch too much on it, you know, because I'm going to do it in another video, talk about it, that is. But, like, this is one of the games that helped me cope with that. Like, it's a lifelong disability. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm not going to, you know, it's not like, oh, I'm just going to use it for a time. Like, no, this is for life. And so, you know, I remember growing up, I wasn't good at a lot of other things because of that, and I couldn't play sports and do stuff like, I mean, I could, I was pretty garbage, though, you know, for obvious reasons, like all my other friends. So other kids my age were playing outside and doing things, and I played video games because I was good at it, and that's what I enjoyed. Like, it was one thing I knew about and I was smart about with video games, and like I could tell you, you know, and you know, you get the people that are like, oh, you know, you don't know this, that, but oh, you can tell me what year a video game came out, or you know, you can tell me how to beat this boss or this area in this game, and talk about how it's useless knowledge. And you know, while that might be partially true, it's like it made me happy. And I think things that make you happy are important, as long as, you know, like, you know, getting drunk all the time or doing drugs or hurting people, as long as that's not what makes you happy. If that's the case, please get some help and check things out. Like, one of the reasons I got on YouTube was because I always have wanted to be a sort of example, or like to help someone that's going through things like mental health problems, you know, with disability, like not feeling confident, you know, self-esteem issues. Like, you know, like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm a professional. I don't do this for a job. I'm not that knowledgeable. I just am speaking from the heart and how I feel. And more specifically, you know, so Sunday, I'm recording this on, what is today, Thursday? I'm recording this on a Thursday, and it's going to go out on Monday. So I guess last Sunday, my wife's grandfather had a heart attack and ended up going to the hospital. We'd got like an hour of sleep that night. It was just one of those really odd things what we can't describe, where we couldn't go to sleep that night. We didn't go to sleep till like 3:30. And you know, you just get that feeling that something's wrong, like something's off, like we couldn't go to sleep. And it was odd. We were playing video games that night. Pikmin, actually. I was playing Pikmin and she was playing Pikmin 4. Really glad she got into it. Great games, by the way. And you know, it was like the night was going good, but there was just something we couldn't put our finger on. Like, it was odd. And I hadn't had that happen in a while, but it was just, you know, like I said, I didn't know what it was. So we finally go to bed at like 3:30 because we were just staying up playing video games, which was fun in its own right. But we get she gets a call at like 4:30 in the morning saying that her grandpa had a heart attack, or was having one. You know, he's going to the emergency room, and her mom was going to meet him there at the hospital because the ambulance was taking him. And she needed to go, you know, stay with her grandma because her grandma is not doing well either. She has Parkinson's. I don't know if it's a specific kind. I don't know if there are other specific kinds or like different kinds. But she has Parkinson's and it's kind of bad. So she has to go help take care of her because it's basically her grandpa taking care of her. But, you know, when he has his own health problems, it makes that difficult. And it was just a whirlwind. You know, my poor wife, she's as kind and caring as she is, she was like, well, like, I'm sorry, like, I have to run and go do this. Like, you know, you can stay here and go back to sleep. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you know, we were supposed to go to church in the morning. And she's like, you just get up and go. You know, you can go without me. And I'm like, are you kidding? I'm stressed out of my mind. I'm not going to be able to go. And I was so tired and exhausted from not sleeping. But I was like, I can't sleep. Like, you know, so she went ahead and went, and I stayed to watch and take care of the animals. And I basically just stayed up, and I think I was up from 4. So I had like gotten up at like 7 or 8 that day from work, or no, because I didn't have work, but I still got up early to work on my channel. And I was up, you know, let's say about 8, and then stayed up until 3:30 the next morning. Slept until 4:30, and then was up from 4:30. And I don't think I went to bed Sunday night until, I mean, gosh, it was probably midnight at least. Like, I was exhausted, man. I was zonked out. And it was a rough time, and it was really worrisome because, you know, my grandfather had a stroke many years back. Gosh, probably it seems like a decade ago, almost, maybe like 8 or so years. And it was tough. It was really scary. He was in the hospital for like a week. You know, it really affected him. And I know a heart attack's a little different, but still, I was still worried, you know. And she was worried. And it's one of those things where you really have to be brave for someone else when they are stressed out. You cannot look stressed out, like, you know, because she's being brave for her family and her grandma, because her grandma worries a bunch. And therefore I have to be brave for her. And then it's like, well, you know, I began having these feelings where I was like, I feel like I'm bottling all this in. I was worried about her grandpa and then her grandma, because the story gets more complicated when the day later they find out they both had COVID. They had gotten it from somewhere. So it's just this big whole thing, this big whole mess. Stressed the heck out of both of us. Weren't sleeping well. You know, haven't really gotten to see each other much at all, like the last week. If anything, it's been like early in the morning or late at night, you know, before bed. Once or twice I dropped something off for her at the hospital. But it's just been scary, man. As of this Thursday. He seems to be doing better. I think they're testing him for the COVID today to see if you know, he's gonna get rid of it, because he's got to do like a heart cath, an echo scope. I'm not a doctor. I don't really know what a lot of those are, but you know, they're important. And so he's doing better. He's kind of has the strength to walk around and stuff now. Her grandma still is not doing great, but you know, she's slowly recovering. So it's just been, and all of this, like, he's been getting better, but it just reminds me so much of my grandparents when, well, not my grandparents. The first time I ever experienced any kind of loss was my great-grandma. And I don't even know how to describe it. I'm not going to get too deep into it because I'll get emotional. I was like 12 or 13. I think it was in like middle school, almost junior high. And it was tough. I don't remember all the details again because I was so young. And also, I think that's really the first case of, like, when trauma like that happens. For one, everything happens so fast and it's so intense, you don't know what's going on, and you're a kid and you're not processing it the way you would if you were an adult. You're not slowing down and realizing like what's going on. And also, like I was saying, that's the first time where probably I think what happened was, like, when you go through something traumatic like that and you're young and you're a kid, like, you don't want to think about that. Like, you don't want to dwell on that. So what happens, you just kind of forget detail. Like, it's, you know, it happened, but you don't know what it was. Like, I know my great-grandma ended up passing, sadly. But I know, like, she had pneumonia. I know she also, I don't remember. I want to say she either had just recently been diagnosed with cancer or was also dealing with that. I know she had a lot of history in it with her family. But it was tough. And it was one of those things where after she passed, like, it really shook my mom hard because that was her grandma. And it shook my grandma hard because that was her mom. And they were all close. And that was one of those first instances where, like, I'm a kid. I'm 12, 13. And here I am. I'm having to be, like, you know, the one that is all cheery and says everything is going to be okay. And then it wasn't long after. It was like maybe a year later, if that. My great-grandfather, her husband, he ended up passing. He actually had he was supposed to have heart surgery, and something went wrong. And the weird thing is that he apparently, I just learned this from this was another thing I had blocked out, and I couldn't remember if it was like my imagination and like trauma just like making these details up, or if it was legit. And she told me, like, no, that was legit. And what happened was, I guess he had a DNR, like a do not resuscitate, and when his heart stopped, and he was like pretty much dead for like 10 whole minutes, and they weren't supposed to bring him back, and they did. It was a whole mess. I know I'm kind of dumping everything on you, but like I said, I don't know. It's one of those times where, like, this is my therapy session, man. This is YouTube. Like, you don't have to watch if you don't want to. Like, I'm not forcing you to like. I'm not forcing you to subscribe. Shoot, like, if you're annoyed by this, if this is too much for you, stop watching. Like, you know, this is my channel. But I just know that there will be people out there that will relate, people that understand, people that honestly, like, need to hear this. And it's the truth. You know, it is what it is. And so, circling back to video games, there was a lot of video games and a lot of seasons where I had to turn to video games. And, like, you know, I can think of, like, this game, Super Mario Sunshine, Smash Bros. A couple times, you know, Castle Crashers. Gosh, I mean, the list goes on. There's a bunch. And it's crazy because for each situation, I can tell you, like, what game I was playing, or give me a game and I can tell you, like, the first time I played it, like, what was going on in my life when I was playing that, like, how old I was, you know, what was going on in my life, how school was going, who my friends were, you know, what kind of clothes I was into, you know, just everything. It's crazy. Oh gosh. Oh, no. Hopefully I don't die. I haven't. Yeah, I am still playing a video game. It's odd. I know some people are gonna... There's gonna be that one comment that's like, dude, you're talking about really sad, serious stuff while you're playing SpongeBob? Yeah, I am. What you gonna do about it? But it's just, I don't know. Like I said, it's relaxing. Like, the thing is, if I was playing a more intense game, I wouldn't be able to concentrate. If I was playing anything less, like when I actually, this is my second time recording this. I had played Animal Crossing the first time, and I honestly just, I ranted even more. I got way off topic talking about things I didn't even plan on talking about. Like, my whole shtick for this is like, yes, it's an unscripted video. Like, all of these are going to start being unscripted when I make them. It's just straight from the heart. It's not, I'm not reading words off a screen. Like, yes, there are things in my mind I'm planning on saying, so I guess if that's a script to you, cool. But, you know, it's just things that I want to get off my chest and I need to say. Because I don't feel like there's enough of that on YouTube. You know, there needs to be things like little outlets. Like, I feel like we have all of these. I talked about it in the YouTube video I did about exposing some YouTube lies and things I don't really like about YouTube. One of the things I don't like is how there are, like, there's something for everyone. I'm glad that there is something for everyone. But part of the problem is there's something for everyone, but then things like when the majority gets pushed on everyone and people are led to believe that they should make all of their content just like the majority, like, and it gets away from creativity and doing things what you want to do and doing things how you like. Because I truly believe when you make content that you like and that you're enjoying, then it will be your best content you can possibly make. Who cares if you make popular content if you don't enjoy it? It is not going to be good and no one's going to like it, and it's not sustainable long term. And it's just going to be a bust. It's, you know, oh gosh. Gotta get this dude. And I just, there's all these videos on YouTube about how going real fast pace and being like jokey and not serious and being fake and dressing things up, like dressing up situations to look better than they are, and dressing up your life to be like, oh, I'm an influencer. I have this. I drive this car. I have this house. Or, you know, you're always go, 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 go. And where are the videos where you're just sitting back and being real, like, you know, just telling it how it is? And I think that's why you see a lot of creators on YouTube burn out. I think you see them, you know, deal with issues in their personal life because they're led to believe they need to be a certain way for their whole life, or at least their whole life on what's being shown on camera or on screen on the internet, that you kind of forget, like, about real life. Like, you forget about real issues, real things. You're living in this fantasy world, you know, where you can be whoever you want to be and not work on yourself. You know, there's definitely situations going on right now that in the social media and the internet and creators and influencers that, you know, could be talked about. And I'm not going to get into that because that's not my place. I don't condone any, like, negative stuff about that. Like, that's, or I don't, I guess, what's the right phrasing? I don't condone any negative actions like that. Like, you know, I'm sure you can probably allude to what I'm talking to. But no, what I'm focusing more on is just, like, mental health, man. Like, you're going through something, like, you're not alone. I like some of the people that's gonna, mainly it's gonna be gamers, I think, that are gonna watch this. But honestly, if even you're not, sorry, I fumbled my words. Even if you are not a gamer, like, try one out. Like, it doesn't, I'm not asking you to jump into a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, you know, 100 hours, like, game to drift away to. Like, you know, there's lots of reasons to play games. Like, you know, you can like a game for the story. You can like a game for the music. That's a big thing. Like, if you're upset, play a game with good music. Like, this music is just kind of like SpongeBob music, but, like, Zelda games have great music. There's some really good Zelda songs that, like, kind of just are real, and they hit a little too hard. You know, for what it's worth, Final Fantasy has a lot of good ones. I'm not even a huge Final Fantasy fan. Like, I played the remake of 7, and I'm playing through Rebirth right now. But I know I have you know, one of my good buddies. He's the one I was mentioning earlier. I know he'll be proud of me if I shout out Rebirth. But I mean, what can I say? That's just real. Like, there's different reasons that you can jump into games. Maybe it's the characters. Maybe it's the plot. There's a plethora of reasons. And, you know, I've jumped into them for different reasons. Sometimes multiple. Sometimes all those reasons. But sorry, I had to make a little cut there. Actually, I do need to get off here soon. My wife is, as we speak, since I brought it up, she's on the way home from the hospital. I guess I should wrap up. Man, a lot of people will talk crap about video games. A lot of people will talk about how video games are nerdy, they're dumb, they're stupid, they're just for boys, they're just for kids, they're not for girls, they're not for adults, whoever you are, fill in the blank, whatever. A lot of misconceptions. They're haters. Don't listen to them, man. I can recommend you lots of good games, really, for any reason. You know, just something. A lot of people, you know, some people play, like when I made the thumbnail, it's like some people find it de-stressing to play a game like Dark Souls or like a shooting game. Like, you know, they want to get their anger out, and if that's how you do it, you know, so you don't do it in a negative way, then awesome. You know, some people play Animal Crossing because it's peaceful, and you can just kind of like have your own little village or community. You know, you can play a sim game like Sims, so where you can create your own little life when life in real life is not going well for you. I've done that before too. You know, sometimes you want to play good stories so you can get lost in it, or really gripping characters that, you know, make you wish like you knew them in real life. You know, just visually stunning world to get lost into, or a soundtrack that you can just, you know, put on while you're sleeping or in the car. You know, for whatever reason, I really push you towards that, encourage it. And last thing I want to say is, like, you know, obviously if you're of the kind, the type, I don't want to get the wrong message or force anybody anything, but I know that me and my family and my wife's family could really use your thoughts, prayers, whatever you know believe in and you want to send our way. Good vibes, we'll take whatever. And if there's anything, I know this is going to sound real cringe, I know I'm just a YouTube creator guy, does it part-time, not even as a job yet. But seriously, if you're going through something, just let me know. Put it in the comments. Like, don't be afraid. Like, you know, just say what you want to say. Like, I'm not going to ridicule you or make fun of you. As long as it's not a troll comment. If you're like, hey man, I'm sorry, I'm really going through something. I ran out of chicken nuggies in the freezer. I'll still pray for you just because that would be kind of funny. But for real, I do have to take it somewhat seriously. You know, I'm not asking you to please don't go through your whole personal life in the comments, but, you know, I don't mind just a little, you know, just say, hey man, like, you know, could use your thoughts right now, or yeah, glad you brought this up, you know, be thinking about me. Because I think we need to see more unity on YouTube here and less division. That's all over internet. It's all over social media. Maybe I get ridiculed and made fun of for this, but, you know, it is what it is. And I want to build up the gaming community to be really healthy and strong and, you know, unified. And I feel like after the things that have transpired on YouTube in the past and recently, like, more and more creators just like falling into these rabbit holes, and also too, like, as a kid, you look up to YouTubers and creators that you watch, and you want to be like them, and then you find out that they're scumbags. Like, that is important to distance yourself, like, from the fact that YouTubers are people. They can make mistakes. Like, that happens. It's what makes us human. But you don't have to, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And certainly, if they make a mistake, you don't have to, you know, like, wish death upon them. But at the same time, you don't have to defend them just because, oh, they're your favorite YouTuber and they seem like they're nice on camera. You met them at a con one time and they seemed like all right, because that's not really knowing them personally. So anyways, I guess I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much. Oh my goodness, what a way to end it. But I'm just glad if anyone watched this could be, oh, I'm way back here. This could be a situation where maybe 5 people watch this and people be like, oh, that was a bust, man. You wasted it. Nobody watched. Well, screw it. If 5 people watch this video, that's awesome, because that's 5 people that heard what I wanted to, you know, say, and, you know, hopefully took it seriously. Share it with a friend, share it with someone you think needs it, so, you know, another fellow gamer. If you want to, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, like and subscribe, everyone. Do it like I said earlier. Do it if you like my content. Do it if you really like this video, or you got something out of it, or, you know, you agree with something I said in the video. You know, do it if you're, you know, if you're not gonna watch my stuff, it's not gonna help. Or if you're trying to troll, or, you know, whatever. Normally I would be more willing to take on the trolls and be accepting of them, but, you know, it's given the topic, it's, you know. So I'll be back next Monday. I don't know exactly what I'll be talking about. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'll be back. I'll figure out the topic. Not all of these are going to be this super serious. My plan is that every Monday I'll do one, and it'll be like an unscripted rant about blank, or an unscripted rant about this or that. And, you know, it's probably just going to be about random video games. But, like, if I'm doing them once every week, maybe one out of every 4, so one a month, you know, will be about something. Like, I want to talk about my disability. I want to talk about, you know, more mental health stuff. I want to talk about, you know, different issues and things. Hopefully nothing, you know, nothing political, nothing super controversial. You know, maybe if y'all want, and if my wife's okay with it, talk about healthy relationship stuff like that, you know, between us. But, you know, just something that I feel like the world could really use. And I'm still, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be doing my Let's Play videos on Wednesdays. Still going to be doing my reviews like every other Saturday. That's all staying. I just want something extra out there, something that's like authentic and keeps me down to earth and keeps me humble and allows me to just kind of, like I said, be real. So, thank you guys very much. I appreciate you, all of you, each and every one of you. You're not just a number, you're not just a stat, you're something. Like I said, if you are going through something, let me know, let a friend know, let a family member know. If you need help, you know, just, you know, try a video game, man. Or just anything, something positive, please. Pick up SpongeBob, Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Halo, you know, Madden, if that's, I don't think Madden will alleviate anyone's stress, but who knows. Okay, I'll stop ranting. Bye-bye.